Hello and welcome back to the Save It for Parts channel, where today we're taking a look at another vintage laptop. Now with some of these laptops, especially from the 1980s and 1990s, the entire term laptop is kind of optimistic because this thing weighs, this is like 50 pounds. This would probably crush you to death if you tried to use it on your lap. And yeah, we're going to take a look at this. It is a Dell 316 from around 1990. This is apparently the first laptop that Dell ever made. And yeah, this is a hefty chonker here. It's got a carrying handle, which interestingly enough is on the back. And I don't actually know how to deploy that, but we'll get to that in a second here. Now inside the case, we also have this massive power brick, which despite its size, weighs very little. So I guess they just made it this big for fun. We also have some cables. We have multiple extra batteries. I'm sure none of these batteries work. We have some paperwork and manuals. We have an entire manual just for the modem. We've got, Microsoft Excel. So even back in the 90s, you could have incomprehensible spreadsheets. And then looks like we've got, US access numbers for the public data network. So you could dial in to a 90s style data system. That's kind of interesting. I'm sure this is not still around anymore. And we have a printout here for some kind of multi-point design script. Whatever that is, it looks like some kind of homebrew software or small-time software. This thing's a little dirty. I got this at a surplus auction and there's like sand coming out of the bag. So that doesn't really, that isn't a great sign for the quality of the equipment, but hopefully it's okay. Ooh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an actual mouse nest in here. I do have some discs in here, the ones that are not covered in mouse. We've got Microsoft Word, we've got Dell enhancements, we've got more Microsoft Word. If you wanted Microsoft Word in 1990, you'd better be prepared to swap disks all day long. We have Procom Plus, modem software. Yeah, some of these discs are in rough shape. Some of these are just filthy on the bottoms. Yeah, they don't smell bad, but there is some scum on here, so I don't know if I want to put these in the disk drive. Yeah, this is always the hazard of buying really old technology. You don't know what kind of critters are living in there, and yeah, it definitely looks like something has been living in the laptop bag. All right, let's take a look at this beast. This is apparently a 16 megahertz 386 processor, and it can hold up to 8 megs of RAM. Yeah, I'm immediately seeing some damage on the corner here. We've got like some decay to the plastic, and there's actually a big hole, so it looks like it's been dropped on this corner. We've got the floppy drive. There may or may not be a hard drive in here right where the impact damage is, so I'm a little worried about that. So the handle folds down and I guess becomes a little stand. This entire back piece wants to come off. I don't know if it's supposed to. All right, so this back pops open. We've got a serial port, printer port, some hair. That's kind of gross. Boy, is that a modem? Those look like the size of Ethernet ports, but they're labeled line and phone. So it could be some kind of like ISDN or T1 or one of those networks that was like really hot in the 90s and cost way too much and then nobody ever heard of it again. It's very cracked here. There's quite a bit of impact damage, and this entire back piece wants to come off along with some other parts of it. It's got these great big rubber bumpers along the sides and then kind of rubber on the front, so it is at least somewhat rugged. The screen feels a little loose, but boy, that sure looks cool. I mean, yeah, look at that screen. This is such a cyberpunk design from the 90s. If this doesn't work, it would make a fantastic cyber deck. I could gut this out and put a modern system in it. Yeah, the screen is a little loose, unfortunately. I don't know if I can tighten that up. The keyboard here, this is like, yeah, this is great. Mechanical clicky keyboard. Feels really nice. We have physical contrast brightness rollers. It also looks pretty filthy. So again, I think we're going to take this out to the garage, maybe open it up a little bit, blast out all the mice, and get it a little bit clean before we try to turn it on. So this opened up pretty easily, then there was less mouse nest inside than I was afraid of. It's just 9 Phillips screws and then the whole thing pops in half. This is from back in the days when computer manufacturers didn't hate users and would actually allow you to open products that you owned. Nowadays, good luck ever getting a laptop open. Got the battery compartment. We've got that extra modem card, which looks like just a half-size standard ISA card, so you could probably put other stuff in here. It's an Omnitel 2400 PC2. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's a good modem. Maybe that's something fancy for corporate networks. I don't know. We've got a nice little diagram of what everything is. And we actually have 2 additional batteries. So we have this battery, we have a lithium battery over here, and then we have this cell. I'm not quite sure why there's 2. I'm sure one of these is probably a BIOS battery, and then maybe the other one is like a suspend battery or something. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Very interesting. We just have 2 sticks of RAM, and then there's space for more RAM, so this is probably just 2 megabytes. Looks like we have some fuses back here, and we've got, I think this is the power board. Now, in a lot of these old computers, the capacitors will go bad and leak goo everywhere. I don't see goo. I see there is some stuff here, but I think it's like hot glue that was used to hold the capacitors in place. It feels like hot glue, and it doesn't feel like capacitor drippings. If I were doing this completely right, I would probably replace this board or replace all the capacitors on it. I am probably not going to do that with this computer. A, because I'm lazy, and that's a lot of work to replace all those capacitors. And B, I don't know if the rest of it works, especially with that drop damage. It seems like I should at least test it out first before I go around going to the time and effort and expense to replace parts. Now, we do have a hard drive underneath the floppy drive, and yes, the hard drive is right at that corner where it was dropped, so yeah, fingers crossed that the hard drive hasn't been completely destroyed. As I cleaned this up a little more, I did notice what looks like some impact damage to the LCDs. I'm hoping that's just superficial, but it does look like it's underneath the first layer, so we might have some display damage. It did come with the original power supply, which is good because this is one of those products that uses a stupid made-up power supply. That's kind of always been a tech thing, is you got to invent your own nonsense that isn't compatible with anybody else's nonsense. All right, we have horrible whining noises coming from the power supply brick, which are probably the capacitors in there. Let's see if the computer turns on, if it makes terrible noises, if terrible smoke comes out, or let's see what happens. Maybe nothing happens. Oh yeah, this doesn't look good at all. There's some corrosion on the transformer. The bottom is it's all like rusty or corroded here. Yeah, there's rust here, there's corrosion. This looks like it's been wet at some point. Fortunately, it looks like the output is just this guy, and it looks like it's labeled 16 CG, so probably 16 volts DC. Control ground. We had a little diagram here that says 16 volts signal and ground, so that makes sense. I can probably just unplug this and snip these wires and hook it up to a modern 16 volt supply. All right, let's try this again and see if the magic smoke stays in it. We've got some noises coming from the laptop. Oh, they smell like smoke noises, or it smells like smoke. Okay, well, that's not ideal. Okay, this is the point where I need to decide, is it worth trying to repair this? Is it worth trying to restore it, get it working, fix what's wrong? I'm pretty sure it is a capacitor that popped in there. That's usually why the smoke comes out, and that smoke was from the location of that power board. So one of those capacitors that I looked at briefly and I said these look fine, obviously wasn't fine. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to put the work into this to make it back to functional. It's got damage. It has physical damage, like I said, at the corner. It's been dropped. The case is cracked. The LCD shows some damage. There seem to be some decent parts inside, but also some bad parts, like the capacitors. So I don't know if this is worth trying to fix it or if it's worth trying to part it out. Because even if I did fix it up, well, I don't really know what I would do with it because I already have some vintage laptops like this. I already have some old 386, 286 DOS machines. I don't really need another DOS laptop. It is a really cool case. It would be a cool cyber deck. If the case wasn't cracked and damaged on the bottom, I would be tempted to just rip the guts out, put the guts on eBay, and put a Raspberry Pi in there, put a little LCD screen in there, make it into a modern computer. I mean, it's a nice keyboard. If I could reuse the keyboard somehow, if I could reuse some of the parts, I think it would look cool, but there would still be a lot of repairs to do, the physical repairs of that case crack, repairing that handle on the back. So I think I'm going to actually end the video here, and I'm going to ask you guys watching, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Should I try to fix it? Should I try to get rid of it? Should I try to mod it into a cyber deck? Should I just hoard it forever? Is one of you interested in it? Let me know. Shipping on this would cost a fortune because it weighs like 50 pounds with the batteries and the bag and all the accessories. But yeah, if somebody's interested in it and wants to pay shipping, then I would probably be willing to part with this thing or trade it for something. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. I do apologize for not getting farther with this. I was hoping it would at least turn on, and I had some ideas for what to do with it if it did turn on. Thank you to everyone out there for watching, and we'll see you next time.